Hey everyone, welcome Booster Tutor, I'm Brandon, and Zendikar Rising has fully been revealed. That means it's time to go over some of these limited cards. First off, the top 10 multicolored cards for Zendikar Rising. Let's get started. Number 10, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. 2 red-white for a legendary planeswalker, Nahiri, obviously. 4 loyalty, +1, create a 1/1 white core warrior, creature token. You may attach an equipment you control to it. -2, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a warrior or equipment card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -3, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of the equipment you control. Alright, so you might be thinking, Brandon, that's pretty low for a planeswalker. Well, I'm saying this might be pretty high for a very narrow planeswalker. She's 4 mana for 4 loyalty, +1, you get a 1/1. That's not very exciting, but she does protect herself, so that's nice. -2, you get to search for equipment or a warrior. The thing about this set is there's not that many good equipments. Like, there's not even that many equipments in general. In her colors, there's like 1 rare, 1 uncommon, and then you just have the colorless ones. So, I mean, it's not that great of a set for equipment-based planeswalker. And her -3, I mean, a lot of times you're going to be dealing like 2 damage, maybe 4 if you're lucky. So I think you're going to first pick her most of the time and just really build around her. But I think if you can, she's going to be pretty powerful, and you're going to be using her mainly as the warrior part of it, just like getting warriors out you need, making warriors if you have like the warrior lord or something like that, and then having the equipment part be just like a little nice extra bonus. So that's why it's number 10. Really iffy about her. She seems a little too narrow, but I feel like if you can get her in the warrior deck, then, you know, she's doing pretty good. Number 9, Spoils of Adventure. 4 white-blue for an instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. You gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. So we have our very first party card here, and oh boy, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 6 mana, gain 3 life, draw 3 cards at instant speed. I'll play that. I don't think I'll love it. It's in 2 colors, but I'll definitely play that. And the fact with party, I feel like you're pretty much always going to have at least 1, more than likely 2. 3 gets a little iffy, and then 4, it's like good luck with that. But if this costs 5 mana, I'm not feeling too bad. If it costs 4 mana, I'm like, hell yes, thank you very much. And of course, less and less it gets, the better and better it gets. Thankfully, this isn't a party card that calls for a full party. It's just, you know, a pretty good spell already that just gets better and better the more creatures in your party you have. So really like it. Speaking of party, Linvala, Shield of Seagate. 1 white-blue for a legendary creature, Angel Wizard. She's a 3/3 with flying, and has, at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, choose target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Until your next turn, it can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Sacrifice Linvala. Choose hexproof or indestructible. Creatures you control gain that ability until end of turn. Alright, Linvala's back, baby, and she's pretty good. I mean, she's 3 mana for a 3/3 with flying. I love it. I'll play that anytime, no matter what. Then she has the ability of Sacrifice her. Your creatures get indestructible hexproof, so, you know, they live to wraths, they win, or they don't win, but they live in combat. They can't be taken away with threatened effects or anything like that. You know, removal, you would probably pick indestructible anyway, just in case, but can also just give them hexproof. But then she has that ability of the full party, which I feel like full party is most of the time not going to happen. I mean, I don't want to call it a trap, but I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm definitely going to get the full party on this. That's amazing. The reason that ability is so good is because full party is not going to happen most of the time. I mean, she adds to your party right there. She's a wizard. That means you still need to get a warrior, cleric, and a rogue. Like, white and blue is the party colors, sorta, I think. It's like, it's really hard to tell with this set. It's all over the place. But yeah, I'm just not feeling the full party thing. But her on her own, 3 mana, 3/3 flying, with her ability to sacrifice herself to save all your other creatures. Pretty good, pretty good. Just don't count on full party happening. NumberSeven, Yasharan, Implacable Earth. 2 green-white for a legendary creature, Elemental Boar. He's a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest card and a basic plains card. Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities, blah, blah, blah. That's all flavor text right there. But mainly this is a 4-mana 4/4 that gets you 2 lands. So, I mean, if you're in a green-white deck, no matter what, you're going to play this card. It's just, very efficient, helps you get landfall later on. Doesn't come into play, those lands you get, they go into your hand, but, fixes you. Doesn't ramp you, but does make sure you're going to get up to 6 mana at least. And, you get 2 landfall triggers coming up. So just all-around good creature. And, doesn't have evasion or anything, but still 4-mana 4/4. You gotta love it. NumberSix, Grakmaw Skyclave Ravager. 1 black-green for a legendary creature, Hydra Horror. It's a 0/0. It enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on Grakmaw. When Grakmaw dies, create a XX black and green Hydra creature token, where X is the number of counters on Grakmaw. Like, okay, this is just... Black-green is the counters deck. It cares about +1/+1 counters. This is just amazing for it, of course. It already has 3 counters on it. Any of your other creatures, which will, if you're in these colors, not most, but a few of them at least will have 1/1 counters on them. They just go onto this, and then when this dies, it pretty much just replaces itself. Like, just annoying creature to play against. Like, okay, this thing is like an 8/8 now. I have to kill it with my removal. Oh, guess what? It's still an 8/8. It's like, oh, come on. Doesn't have any evasion, can get chump block, but doesn't matter. Just really good creature. NumberFive, Yareth San the Trickster. 3 blue-black for a legendary creature, Merfolk Rogue. The 4/4 Flash has an ability of, hold on for this, 2 blue-black. Return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. Put Zareth San from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So basically, Ninjutsu, but for rogues. And whenever Zareth San deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Oh boy, okay, so 5 mana for 4/4 Flash. Sure, I'll play that, that's fine. Then if it hits a player, you can take any permanent from their graveyard and just put into play, like lands, enchantments, creatures, anything, just right on the battlefield. You don't have to cast or anything. And then it has this weird like ninjutsu where if you can get a rogue to hit even like a 1/2 or a 1/1 or something unblockable, you just get to sneak this right in and then get that permanent. Like, oh, it's such a fun like build around card. I don't even know if you really have to build around it. Just on its own, it's pretty good. But just getting a few rogues in there, like you first pick this and get some rogues that are unblockable. Oh man, good times. Just like, it seems like a really fun card. It's kind of weird because this is like, the legendary rogue, black-blue creature, and black-blue seems to care about milling. This doesn't mill or anything. It does get something. So if you've been a milling your opponent, you probably get something good in their yard so you can get it. But it just seems really weird that it doesn't mill itself. Like it doesn't do any milling. So the black-blue mill rogue strategy is very weird to me. It's like you have to attack to mill a lot of times. In this deck, am I trying to kill them with damage? Am I trying to mill them out? Like, make up your mind. They do this a lot with the milling. Like, you have to mill when you attack. And it's always weird. It's always weird to me. But this card seems like a lot of fun. NumberFour, Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats. 4 black-red for a legendary creature, Vampire Rogue. It's a 4/4. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. So first off, black-red. This thing cares about party. That's not the party colors. Black-red, I don't know what's doing in this set. I don't know if it even has like any synergies, like if it's something you're supposed to draft, because there's another black-red card that's an equipment. And I'm just like, that's not the equipment colors. What are you doing? I don't understand black-red, but oh well, let's go. Let's keep going. It has flying, death touch, haste, amazing. Other creatures you control have death touch. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. So that's the whole like death touch now just kills planeswalkers, which I really like. That's nice. But this card's amazing. I mean, 6 mana for a 4/4 flying death touch haste. Sure, I am fine with that. Yes, please. All your other stuff gets death touch. That's fine. It's not like that big of a deal. It's still pretty good. Especially if you have something with trample, like holy crap. But the fact that this can cost 5 most of the time, 4, not that hard. I mean, 4 mana for a 4/4 Flying Death Touch Haste. Jesus, that's really good. And then, of course, 3 and 2, get out of here. Get out. So yeah, really like this card. Just a great creature on its own. Just has a little bit of a identity problem going on. Number 3, Verazal the Split Current. X green-blue for a legendary creature, Serpent. It's a 0/0. It enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. So the green and the blue count. So if you just did the X has 2, that's 4 mana total, comes with 4/4 counter. So perfectly scales. Love that part already. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you remove 2 1/1 counters from it. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. So this is the most kickery kick card there is. This only cares about kickers. I mean, you could play this in blue-green and just play it as a 5/5 for 5. Sure, why not? But if you're in blue-green, you're gonna have a ton of kicker spells. The fact that you can just get permanents and just make copies of those, this card is broken in the kicker deck. And like I said, if these colors are ready, if you first pick this, you're just going kickers for days. Just such an amazing card. Doesn't have evasion. I'm okay with that. It has plenty of other things to do. Number 2, Phylath World Sculptor. 4 red-green for a legendary creature, Elemental. It's a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. So right there, you'll probably have some of the tap lands and stuff, so you won't always have 6 0/1 plant tokens. We'll say you have 4. I mean, 6 mana for a 5/5 and you get 4 0/1s. Sure, that's fine. Nice little chump blockers. Why not? But wait, there's more. It has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put 4 +1/+ counters on target plant you control. So now they're one's a 4/5. Every time you drop a land, a 4/5, a 4/5, or an 8/9. Why the hell not? This card's crazy. If you're behind, this helps you out so much. If you're ahead, it just, makes you win more. If you're at parity, helps you out so much. It's such an amazing card. Love it. It's weird that it's a landfall. Landfall is in almost all the colors. I think it's in a little bit in every color, but it seems to be focusing more on the white-green, but also focusing on the green-red. So what is it? You're not going 3 colors in this set. There's no dual lands really, except for the rare ones. And even then, that's you have to choose. So yeah, I don't know. Green-red and green-white are landfall. What's up with that? It's really weird, but amazing card. Amazing card. And number 1, we all saw it coming, Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. 2 green-black for a legendary creature, Nissa. 4 loyalty. Landfall, when a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a loyalty counter on Nissa. +1, untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn, it's still a land. -5, you may put a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 1/1 counters on it. So right there, green-black cares about counters. This card's crazy. Okay, so a lot of times this is going to be a 5-drop because you're going to play it for 4, keep the land in your hand, then after you play this, play that so you have 5 loyalty. I mean, you can do it on, turn 4, if you have 4 lands, play it, and then just uptick it, make a creature and attack, but then you're kind of just leaving this behind. It's at 5, that's okay, nothing wrong with that. But if you can freaking play this and just on your first turn, drop a land and get the -5 to go off and get something back your bomb that they killed, if you have another bomb, you already have this, or just something in your hand, anything, and it gets 2 1/1 counters, that's great too. This card's crazy. The fact that you play it and you can get 2 counters on right there, it's at 6 already. You attack for 3 with something with menace. It's just so good. Doesn't protect itself, but when it has 6 loyalty, it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, you're green-black, you better have some other creatures if you're in those colors. There's a ton, you got a ton of removal in black, so it's gonna be able to protect itself. Just really good card. Can get out of control pretty fast. Whew, that -5. I really like that -5. That is nice. All right, that does it. So we didn't see any of the red-blue Wizards deck cards, because that deck does look really fun and really good. Actually, there's like a ton of synergies, but the 2 red-blue cards, like there's uncommon and a rare, they're okay. They're fine. You play those in deck no matter what, but you're not gonna first pick those and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go these colors. It's just like, okay, these are great efficient cards in this deck, but nothing that's like top 10 for me. There are some just color identity problems. Like I didn't do also any of the white-black, because that thing seems pretty narrow. It's just white-black life gain, but really focuses on clerics only, which is really weird, and I don't like that at all, but hey, it could work out. But yeah, I went for the more just cards that you see them, you'll probably first pick them, or, they're just good cards on their own, except for Nissa, of course, but still. All right, so that does it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, booster_tutor, and we'll be back tomorrow, where I will be doing just double face cards. That's right, top 10 double face cards of Zendikar Rising. This program brought to you by viewers like you.